Hello everybody, welcome to Be a Better Game Master. Today we are talking about weapons. We have just released the third Be a Better Game Master supplement. That's crazy to me. It's called Be a Better Weapon Master. You can find it on absolutetabletop.com. If you don't have it, don't worry at all. You can still follow along with this video. Down below I actually have a sample out of Be a Better Weapon Master. It's the swords section, so feel free to download that, print it out, use it in this video because we're going to be making a weapon together, and use it in your games. Why not? Post in your comments below how it worked for you. I love when I see stuff like that, when people post things below about, how they're using some of the materials or some of the information from the videos. So yeah, keep doing that. So basically, this is an immersive video in which we are going to be making a weapon together, a sword. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat, probably from screaming so much because I'm so excited to see the new Star Wars movie. You're going to need a D10, a D20, and a D12, because we're going to be using 3 pages of that sample PDF. I included a 4th one. It's a breakout box that Matt Click from A Fistful of Dice wrote. It's really cool, super inspirational, something you can steal for your game. Really neat. But for now, let's make a weapon. The first thing we're going to give our weapon is a quality. What I mean by a weapon quality is an ability, something that the weapon can do. Now, if you don't want something that's magical, you can sift through it and pick something that's not magical, or you can just skip this altogether if you want just a regular sword. No problem. But I love weapon qualities because I'm not talking about, when I say weapon qualities, I'm not talking about +2. Okay, I'm not talking about does acid damage. Okay, maybe talk about does acid damage, but I always like to include something more useful outside of combat or inside combat that's more fun and interesting. So if you look at the swords page, we have our D10, and let's give our weapon a weapon quality right away. Okay, that's a 10. 10 out of 10. The blade is forged of star steel. And when exposed to starlight, it glows white and deals additional force damage. Okay, that's a cool ability because I'm actually glad I rolled that. So because it has a couple of abilities, right? First off, it deals additional force damage. Your players will love hearing that. That's something that they can use in combat. That's fun. It also glows white. It also deals the force damage when it's exposed to starlight. It also glows white when it's exposed to starlight. So maybe that could be used as a torch or something like that. It's up to you, GM. This whole thing is phrased for you. It's all gives you GM agency. So, all right. So this blade is forged of star steel. We'll have to come up with about what that means. And when exposed to starlight, glows white and deals additional force damage. That's all we know about this weapon. Let's roll swords. The physical features. Basically, the goal of a physical feature is to give our sword a one-of-a-kind feel. We want it to feel like it's the only sword like it on the planet. Okay, that is a 20. Okay, I should use these in the next Provokers game. Blood cannot be cleaned from this blade. It permanently stains the steel. That's interesting to me because it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean the blade is covered in blood, first of all. It just means that it's stained almost like wood would be stained. So that'll be like a really interesting brownish red color. I think that's interesting to play with. Also, the other thing I love is that the first thing I rolled said that this blade is forged of star steel, and I don't know what that means. But on the physical feature, it says blood cannot be cleaned from this blade. It permanently stains the steel. So maybe star steel cannot have blood cleaned from it. Maybe blood permanently staining the metal is a quality of star steel. So boom. We just created a new material in our world on accident. I love that stuff. So, let's continue. We know that this sword that is forged of star steel, and it's like this brown red color because the blood that it spilled cannot be washed off of it. At night, when it's exposed to starlight, it glows white and deals additional force damage in combat. That's cool. All right, the final thing we're going to do is we're going to take our D12 and we're going to roll it for the name. The name of the sword. Now, this is always an interesting thing, and I'll tell you why in a bit. So let's roll twice. One for the first column, one for the second one. Oop, rolled off the table. Okay, that is a 6. Foe. All right, let's do it. Foe. That'll be interesting. Okay, and I promise you, that is another 6. Another 6 right there. Game science, you can't even see through it, or you can see through the whole thing. So, Foe Biter. Foe Biter. That's like one of those straightforward names. I want to roll again, because that's too easy, right? It's called Foe Biter because it bites foes, you know? And if you want something awesome, that works really good as a boss weapon. It's called Foe Biter. That's something to fear. But I want to roll again because I want something with a story that I can really jump on. Okay, that's a 5. Forgotten. Okay. Forgotten's good. A 10. The Forgotten Unmaker. Yes. Yes! Okay. So, now we know that this blade is forged of star steel. It has this weird ability to glow white underneath starlight. It also deals some additional force damage when that's the case. And it's this brown kind of reddish color because you can't wipe blood from it. It permanently stains the blade. And it's called the Forgotten Unmaker. Now, it's called the Unmaker because people are made, they can be unmade, okay? It kills people, or monsters or something. Like, it unmakes life. I just love that. Awesome. The way that resonates. Forgotten. Why was it forgotten? Now, I think it's forgotten because it's star steel. And I'm going to say that star steel is a metal that is found after the star falls from the sky, or maybe like some sort of fantastical meteorite. And it was forged from this meteorite. And we're going to say it was used by an entire empire, just to arm their entire army. Everybody had star steel blades. That way, at night, during night combat, oh my god, it's so cool, I think. At night combat, when the stars were out, all their blades would glow, and they could see, use them as torches, perhaps. But actually, that was their demise. The stars were out, and maybe their blades were glowing, and the enemy could see them bright as day, and they were slaughtered. And all of the weapons were lost, we'll say, except for one. One was taken by the enemy of this empire, and we'll say that it was buried just deep in the earth. And the reason it was buried is because these weapons hold this immense amount of magic. And if that magic gets to the point where there's too much, it's dangerous to the people around it. That might be why it's called the Unmaker, the Forgotten Unmaker. And so people call it the Unmaker. It's buried under the earth, and your adventurers stumble upon it. And that's our sword. We have created this awesome sword. We have a story behind it. We actually have an adventure hook. Not only find the weapon, but what happens once you find the weapon? Now you have this dangerous thing that could just go nuclear at any point. Like, what's going to happen? I love that. So, thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much for following along. This is just one example of a sword that you can make. There are tons of different ways to do this. Again, there's a PDF, sample PDF, the sword section down in the video description. Have fun with that. Leave comments about like what you make, fun things that you've done in your game. I just love hearing from all of you. So thank you all very much. As per usual, double tap peace. You can get this supplement at absolutetabletop.com. It's called Be a Better Weapon Master. Thank you so much for supporting us. It's just so fun making supplements for you guys. We couldn't do it without you. And Godspeed.